We can still have nice things. Hi, Jen Kirkman.
Hi. I'm still forever upset that my theme song has to have a Trump mention in it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, what's going to happen
We'll,
after November
we'll excise
3rd?
that
Yeah.
soon. What?
Yeah. No, I had heard that story about the Superman thing, and I almost wish he had done it. I don't like when people stop him from doing stupid things.
Right.
Let him do everything.
Right. You're like, yes. I know you're one
good.
of the best comedy writers, as people know, in Hollywood, on Mrs. Maisel and on, and you're just like, I can't do this. I can't write this anymore. You're like, really? Because it's one of those things. You're like, is that Snopes? He didn't really. The president was, and he was going to do the, like, oh, I'm really frail, like a whole
Willy Wonka thing,
right?
Gene Wilder.
Well, this is why I tell people, there were so many, and I know we are all trying to figure out what's going on because they're not giving us information about his health.
Right.
But whenever people would say, "Ooh, he hasn't tweeted for 10 hours," I said, my opinion was, guys, he knows we're watching. And he's trolling us.
Mm-hmm.
He knows we're getting excited. Ooh, maybe not excited that we want him to be sick, but
no.
Something serious is happening. And then he just bam makes a video. Hello, everybody. He's trolling us everything he does. So everything is very calculated. Even the time he takes off from Twitter, it doesn't mean something bad's happening or he's in jail. It means he's watching us freak out. Like, wonder what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're saying this whole, particularly this weekend, is all just own the libs. Just gonna rush Limbaugh for 2 hours. I'm gonna go,
Well, you know what? I am owned.
Yeah.
I am triggered. They have gotten. There's tears, triggered, and owning.
You win. You can. You know what? You better be careful. You're gonna get waterboarded with our liberal snowflake tears because we are. Yeah, you tweeted. I believe Pence has COVID. Rudy has COVID. Bill Barr has COVID. Prove me wrong. I'll wait.
Still waiting.
Dr. What's his name? Dr. Smiley McLiar Pants, that guy. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, I apologize. I didn't mean to disparage all osteopaths. I just meant he's never treated COVID. Right. He's not an expert like Dr. Fauci. They haven't even consulted, right? He's the top, infectious disease doctor, epidemiologist. That's all I'm saying. It makes no sense. All the things they've said medically over the last few days, right?
And also, I was just watching Lindsey Graham cough all over Dianne Feinstein during the hearing now. So I think they all have it and they're hiding it. I probably sound crazy. In any other year, I would sound like, oh, the conspiracy theorist is back on Stephanie Miller. I mean, the fact that I'm sitting here thinking the highest ranking people in government and in politics have a fatal pandemic virus, and are lying, and I feel it's normal to say this out loud. I can't believe this is how I'm thinking.
I know. No, I mean, you're like, of course Lindsey Graham doesn't want to get tested because it'll blow up this hearing. And the fact that they're all, and Dianne Feinstein, what did you say, Chris? She's
87.
Yeah.
80. Okay. I don't. Okay. So Dr. Smiley McLiar Pants declared the president no longer poses a risk of transmitting COVID. That's complete crap, Jen. He's still shedding virus. It was a little over a week ago. He was in the hospital getting oxygen. This is okay.
If he's not shedding the virus, at least he's shedding from his hair and needs to be quarantined.
Maybe that's what those toupee poisonous caterpillars found in Virginia are.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe he's shedding hair and virus together. Okay. Yes, he said. Right. Okay. First of all, he did not provide specific details about results of Trump's advanced diagnostic tests. His wording implies that some virus remains in the president's body. Okay. Another microbiologist said no test can definitively show if a person at the end of coronavirus infection is still contagious or poses a risk to others. Conley, also, he changed the timeline again, so now it looks like, okay. The CDC recommends those with severe COVID, which he clearly had, need to isolate for 20 days, which would be okay. Okay, his health could deteriorate in the next few days, experts say. One top epidemiologist said Conley's memo was evasive and sketchy. He said he pointed out that COVID can be infectious to others for even longer if they're taking the steroid that Trump has been on. He pointed out that synthetic antibodies created by the experimental drugs Trump took is not the same as immunity and may skew diagnostic results. They're like going, woohoo, I have antibodies. You just got injected with antibodies. Okay.
That whole thing, it's like, I have cocaine running through my veins. Well, you just snorted some. You don't naturally have it.
Right.
That was a bad example. But I will say this. if he is negative, wouldn't they love to show the test and
Sure.
brag about it? Or even doctor up a fake document. But part of me thinks, again, this is to make us crazy. Like, even if they have proof, they're not showing it to keep us talking about it.
Yeah.
There's something I'm starting to finally catch on to, which is as long as we're talking about him, he's happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Trump wants to hit the campaign trail every day through the election.
Great. 10 rallies a day.
Oh,
Good,
one advisor said he's going to kill himself. But I guess as many of us as well, I suppose, is the plan.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do it that way, as you heard, he threatened war with Iran on Friday. I don't know if you missed that. And then
I missed that one. How did I miss that?
He wants a nuclear accord with Putin before the election. He's going to try that. He is in a fight with Dr. Fauci currently. He took his comments out of context, which Dr. Fauci pointed out, and now they've doubled down and used. Okay. So Fauci's words were not a compliment directed at the president. He released a statement saying the ad was being made without my permission and characterized his comments as being part of a broad. He said it was part of a broad statement I made months ago about the efforts of federal and public health officials. He met his task force, and this was back in March. And of course, Trump used it like it was a compliment to him.
Now, let me ask you about that Putin nuclear pact.
Yeah, go back to Putin, sure. Mm-hmm.
Is it Putin can nuke us and Trump won't say anything?
Right. That would be the pact.
Okay.
That would be the pact. Yeah. You can have nukes and we will get rid of ours. It's like, how about that thing? What was that, Travis? 2 days ago now? We're going to get all the troops out of Afghanistan, which is before Christmas, which is what Putin wants. Yeah. This is why the Taliban has endorsed him.
Christmas for Putin.
Right. Trump aide busted after leaked emails prove she lied about blocking Dr. Fauci's public statements. Someone kept said he's not. It's not almost like he's pulled ads right from all the swing states. It's not like he's trying to win. It's like he's trying to get excuses ready for why he's lost. Right. I mean,
somebody was telling me that they had dated a narcissist, and what the narcissist will do is like just burn it all down. You know, when they're on their way out. Right. It's so it feels like he's just going, like everything is irrational. Nothing makes sense. Yeah. It's almost like he's trying to lose, but like you're saying, setting up excuses.
That's one of his aides that said he's trying to kill himself. I mean, by doing an appearance every day when he's clearly a severely ill COVID patient that's only a few days out of the hospital. So it's like, I guess that's the plan, is to kill himself and all of us. Literally. I said this weekend we're in the Jonestown section of this. Presidency.
I'm not too familiar with narcissism and how they want to live or die, but if he really thinks he might go to jail if he loses, I can see where he's like, well, then let me go and I'll take y'all with me.
Right. That's what I'm okay.
You never know.
Thank you for your all caps tweets, because I've been saying this all morning that they're like, court packing is really the issue, is something hypothetical that might happen if we all survive this. And you just said nobody gives a. There is a global pandemic. I've not hugged or been in the same state as my elderly parents since 2019. The president is insane. The up their own ass media is making this a thing. It's the new emails. Thank you, Jen Kirkman. I'm like, really? They're like, Democrats, are you going to use your constitutional powers the way the Republicans are? Because that would be rude. Are you going to do that?
Because, it's like, how about we get in office first?
Right.
Before you start killing this campaign. By the way, you think the average American is sitting there going, honey, grandma's sick. I'm homeschooling the kid. I'm so stressed out about court packing. No one cares. By the way, pack them with Democrat judges.
I've been homeschooling my own child so long, I want to scoop my own eyes out with a melon baller. But did you know that they might expand the Supreme? Okay. Yeah. Okay. When they're in the middle of court packing right now, in the middle of an election. Yeah.
And it's expanding the Supreme Court, which is constitutional. It wouldn't actually even be court packing.
No.
It would be court evening.
Right. I mean, I'm focused on trying to stop this latest illegitimate pick by an illegitimate president in the middle of an election. But,
well, you don't care about the right things. Right.
Nancy Pelosi, who, I don't know, how close are we to President Pelosi? Okay. I saw Mike Pence's pink eye and The Fly, and I was like, President Pelosi. But she's smart with this 25th Amendment thing because, of course it's not going to pass now, but it keeps the focus on his unfitness to right? That we have to prevent this from ever happening again. He's clearly sick and on drugs and deranged and has the nuclear codes.
Now, this is what I hate. No matter what Pelosi does, and even Democrats do this, it's not going to do anything. Okay, but if she were just on the news talking about how he's unfit, then people would go, well, what are you doing about it? So this is like an official way to begin a conversation.
Oh,
we're not,
have you heard the right wing? Have you heard this, right? Why they're saying Nancy Pelosi's, Trump said this when I say the crazy
right wing. President or something?
No. This is her long game. She's doing this to use it on Joe Biden to make Kamala Harris president immediately. So you see how Pelosi is then playing that 3D chess. Okay, here she is.
This is not about President Trump. He will face the judgment of the voters. But he shows the need for us to create a process for future presidents. Throughout America's history, our leaders have created and strengthened guardrails in the Constitution to ensure stability and continuity of government in times of crisis. The 25th Amendment creates a path for preserving stability if a president suffers a crippling physical or mental problem and is, quote, in the amendment, unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office.
Yeah, by the way, everybody keeps talking about the other terrifying thing, Janice. We know it's not over November 3rd. We have this terrifying how long until January 20th.
Oh, my God. I swear to God, he's going to nuke New York between that time.
Yes.
Totally.
Okay, one more. Speaker.
Congress has a constitutional duty to lay out the process by which a president's incapacity and the president of any party is determined. This bill honors the duty by creating a standing commission of top former executive officials and medical experts selected in a bipartisan, bicameral way. A president's fitness for office must be determined by science and facts.
Yeah. By the way, I have to say, Jen, this is what everybody talks about. We have to Trump-proof the presidency. I mean, it really is true. This really... I was looking at this really is something we do have to think about now. But the 16-member panel would consist of doctors and other medical experts, as well as executive branch officials, such as former presidents, vice presidents, and cabinet members. Half the members would be appointed by Republicans. Half would be appointed by Democrats. So, I mean, it really is a bipartisan thing. There's a bunch of things we have to think about now to Trump-proof the presidency, because this is a whole party that's lost their mind. It's not just him. It's like, who's the next Trump that's not quite as crazy and a little smarter, but
Yeah, we've got to put all the child-proofing back on the furniture when they're gone. It's right now it's just like a death trap or a disaster zone.
Right.
I honestly, I know everyone thinks, he's not going to leave office. There's part of me that thinks if he doesn't win, he doesn't even want to serve the lame duck period.
Right. He'll just quit.
Go, I'm not president anymore, and just leave.
John Fugelsang always says that. If he thinks he's going to lose, he's either going to resign. I've always thought he's going to resign at some point. I don't know. Before, if he sees, a big landslide, it'll be a medical thing. And, I would have, fake news, I would have won, but I don't know. I don't know what, you can't tell what is happening. Or if he does lose, he would resign before.
I think
he already said he's not going to the inauguration. I mean, he's just,
Good. Good. Thank God.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Well, no, I think that he's always committed to winning. So if dropping out is in effect losing, so he's going to stay in until the end, and then cry that people were cheating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to end.
Maybe move to Russia.
Right.
Yeah. There's only one cure, and that would be the 9th annual Jen Kirkman Dysfunctional Christmas Show. Is happening in addition to No Fun, the Jen Kirkman podcast. So I feel like there's still something good at the end of the year, no matter what.
Yeah, if people want to just hear me rambling an hour a week off the top of my head, check out my podcast. Free wherever you get them.
I do.
You do.